Welcome. My name is Trillium. I'm an emotion code, Reiki, and quantum healing hypnosis practitioner. And today I'm going to be doing a try on. But before I do that, I invite you to please subscribe, like, and turn your notification bell on. It helps me a lot. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so today I'm going to be trying on 4 different dresses that I just got on Monday, and they're pretty glamorous and beautiful. Probably like donations after New Year's because they're all super sparkly. And then I'm going to be going into 4 different segments. I will be talking about mind, body, spirit, and then just sharing some of my crazy stories and confessions. But today, I wanted to talk about what's going on currently with the LGBTQ community and what has been happening with Trump. Now, I try not to get too political, but when it involves infringing on human rights and equality and people's safety, then that's when I'm going to get involved because I am very much an advocate for freedom and equality. So I ask for you to please forgive me in advance if I misspeak or mess anything up. I'm trying to educate myself more, and I'm trying to learn as much as I can and open up my heart as much as I can and be a model for compassion and understanding and be an advocate for those that cannot voice their opinion. And because many of my viewers, statistically, according to YouTube, are probably hetero males that are older generations, and a lot of this stuff with the whole spectrum of gender, I'm 40 now. I don't know too much about it. And because I only have a few friends are non-binary, or, I had to go and seek out more education on this and do some research. So I'm going to just be sharing. So I wanted to start off, it occurred to me, I'm in school for psychology right now. I'm on the psychology route. And I had to write a paper. And one of the things we had to do was look up results based on sex. I'm like, well, if this is just based on sex, it's not really representative, I think, as like what can be considered normative or average, because there's so many different variations of expression. So just because you're maybe born biologically a male doesn't mean you're going to make decisions based that are in alignment with what society has built around constructs. Or if you're born biologically a female doesn't mean it's going to affect you. It's so complex. There's hormones that are involved. If you want to get scientific, Trump said there's only 2 sexes. Actually, that's incorrect. Scientifically, there's gene variations. You can be born with an XXY, so you could be more female but still possess a male chromosome. You can be hermaphroditic, which means that you have both female anatomy and male anatomy. And so advocates and scientists, they say that it's much more nuanced and there's much more of a spectrum. So I just really wanted to try to open up people's eyes to the complexity of this. And so I just wanted to say some of the people in my life that I really admire and respect and love are non-binary or trans. I worked and have a great deal of respect for a friend of mine, Chef Cujo, who is trans and was born biologically female, but didn't feel like they belonged in their body, possesses a lot of strong character traits as a leader, very dynamic, and those are typically associated with more masculine things and didn't believe this, feminine biological expression like reflected their internal state. And so I think we should have the freedom to express ourselves however we want. And also, my crush is non-binary, and from what I understand, doesn't identify with typical male constructs, but more seems somewhere in between or fluid. And so I just want to propose a question to the straight males, okay? If you could just wake up and be like, I don't want to have to deal with women's PMS and mood swings and nagging and crying and all of that, and I could just want to go like hang out and go fishing and barbecue and watch sports and drink beers and just be gay, do you think you could do that? People don't choose their sexual orientation, and being trans involves expression and freedom to express themselves. And if they want to express themselves as anywhere on the spectrum, they should have the freedom to do that. And this country was based on freedom of expression and human rights. There's been many movements. And so I'm going to go way deep into that later in my later segments. But all I'm saying, I just meant that as a joke, okay? But if I could just be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna not have to deal with like guys anymore that are overly aggressive and domineering and want to eat steak all day, and I could just slap a strap on and live happily ever after with another woman, because I do find other women like very beautiful, but like anatomy wise, genitalia wise, I just like the real thing. I'm attracted to male anatomy. It does it for me. So I can't choose. I would love to just choose. I've even given it a try. I might give it a try again. Who knows? At this rate, I don't know. Anywho, all I'm saying is that people, especially trans people, okay, they don't think like, I'm just going to choose. Do you think they would choose to do that, having to deal with hate crimes and being teased and being bullied and being discriminated and called names and tortured? No, this affects people. It's going to be affecting the youth and putting them in danger. It's going to be putting trans people, in harm's way potentially. It's going to alienate them from receiving basic medical care. It's going to, if people that are outwardly expressed as more feminine go into a prison with males, can you only imagine what they're going to have to endure? It would be really, really difficult and challenging. And I'm not even going to go there because I've heard some really crazy, crazy stories. Pretty sure a friend I know was like raped in jail. So that is just for a human right is terrible. Trump is not trying to reinforce traditional values. He is creating a divide that encourages hate and anger and separation. And I won't stand for it. I advocate for all of my trans, non binary, gay, everything on the spectrum to be anything you want. This ties into my hypnosis and how I believe we have been both male and female in past lives. Our spirit is both male and female. Our energies, all of us possess both male and feminine energy. Okay, so I'm going to try to bring it in. I will be trying on my first dress. And yes, I'm channeling a lot of energy. Like my hands are tingling. I called in Martin Luther King, Harvey Milk to help me try to express and educate, and I'm channeling them right now. And also my landlady that passed, she was gay. She's with me all the time. So I'm calling her in to speak through me today. So I'm hoping that I can be a medium for this message. Okay, stay tuned. And here's my little trillium necklace. See you in a bit. Welcome back. So outfit number one, we have this kind of sequiny rose gold cocktail dress. Very sexy. I love it. And yeah, so first segment we're going to get into body. And I just want to say it is so outrageous and scientifically incorrect for Trump to say there's only two sexes, because scientifically that is false. Okay. And I'm going to share some information I had done research on before, but I'm touching upon today. So I mentioned earlier that there can be hermaphroditic expressions, which is that someone born with X, the female chromosome, Y, the male chromosome, can exhibit both male and female anatomy. So you can be both. You can have both expressions. Has a lot to do with hormones, with the tissue. So there's not only one, okay? And then there's variations of chromosomes. There's something called antigen sensitivity, where even if someone is born with a Y chromosome, the male hormones may not affect them, and they may actually not express any male characteristics or express some male characteristics or not. And then there is Clefenter syndrome. I think I may have botched that, but go ahead and look it up, where you can be born with two female chromosomes and a male chromosome. So you could be more female than male. And I don't know exactly how that could genetically express, but I'm sure in a multitude of ways. So it is possible, and then hormones play in effect. I've even heard a theory, now this is crazy, okay, don't hold it against me, that women, and this is scientifically supposedly proven to, women that have had so many babies, the later ones end up being homosexual, and that might be because maybe it's nature's way of trying to balance out the population because we're way out of balance and we're overbreeding. Nature has an interesting way of trying to reach homeostasis. So it could actually be meant to be. And yeah, I think that, if someone wants to identify as whatever, a female, if they were born male or anything in between, it should be really okay to do body modification or express themselves in whatever way they choose. A lot of the the constructs that we have with appearance are ever changing. Before it was little butts, now it's big butts. Before you'd get made fun of if you had big lips. Now people are paying for big lips. Before it was very frowned upon to be tan. Now people are paying for tans. Like guys trying to get bigger and bigger. And who knows what? It's going to keep changing and it's probably going to get crazier and crazier. And some of the guys you see today, like working out, it's like turning into body dysmorphia. So while it's unfortunate body dysmorphia does occur, some cases I think are people having body dysmorphia, but also we should have the freedom to explore and try on. It's like trying on different outfits and just seeing what fits, see what we like, see what we don't like. That can change. We're fluid. I don't wake up, especially women, we don't wake up the same way every single day. And typical men, I think you guys are a lot more hormonally stable than us, and you don't have your menstrual cycles. But I'm sure that some days you're feeling different than other days, and you want to wear different clothes, different moods, you want to try different foods. This is all just part of expression. And so one thing, maybe not appropriate in this body segment, but I was on psychedelics one day and I had a download, and the download was okay to be everything in between. Male, female, gay, straight, it's all just expressions. It makes life richer. It makes life more interesting. It's like beauty or art, just different ways to express ourselves and to connect and to experience each other. So, yeah, I think it's all beautiful. I think living and being alive, we are all living art and masterpieces and should be able to show up however we want. Even me, sometimes I like to dress a certain way. Sometimes I like to wear my makeup a certain way or my hair a certain way. I have like a billion wigs and costumes in my closet. I think it's fun and we should have the ability to express ourselves in whatever way we want. Okay, so thank you so much for my chat. Think through my chat. I'm going to go ahead and model this a little bit. And I'm getting some in the mail very soon. I'm really excited because I'm tired of modeling the same shoes over and over and over again. My birthday passed and nobody bought me an outfit. That's sad. But I bought those for myself for my birthday and they will be coming shortly in the mail. Okay. Thank you so much. Welcome back. Outfit number 2. And I just want to apologize. There's been construction going across the street for like a year and it's driving me nuts. And then not only that, my landlady is like tearing the place apart. So after I'm done with my work stint in February, I'm going to be going to LA more regarding to lessons and stuff like that. So next thing I'm going to discuss is mind. Now, it's very important to make the distinction between sex, which is what you're biologically born with, what we talked about, typically male or female, but as we established, it is not just binary. You can be a variation of things and on the spectrum, and gender, which is related to social constructs, which is basically as we were programmed by society, by expectation, social norms, etc., culture. So how culture impacted us. So I just want to point out that before World War II, pink was actually considered a masculine color, and blue was considered a feminine color. So, like, it was salmon for the males and then baby blue for the females. And it didn't change until after that. And if you don't believe me, look it up. And also, if you watch the movie The Lady and the Tramp, my millennials and older might know that the baby boy was dressed in pink. Okay. And so a lot of these things have been indoctrinated and impressed upon us, especially through commercialism, which they want to sell you toys, and masculine colors and styles, all in an attempt to make money. Okay, all of these ideas were fashioned around money-making models. Let's see, I'm going to have to pause the video really quick. Welcome back. Okay, so we talked about gender and fluidity of it and how it is a expression and a spectrum versus male female, in which we established that it can be a variation of expressions due to chromosomes and hormones. So very complex, very nuanced. Okay, it is not just binary. And then also, I wanted to talk about the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So under that act, gender was protected around sex. And now Trump is trying to reverse that. And what this does is it makes communities and people vulnerable. We need to be safe havens for these people. We need to protect them and their rights. It was only how long ago when we had Black slaves, women couldn't vote or own property, just craziness. Gays couldn't get married, not until just like 2015. That's crazy. And so love is love. It's hard enough in this world for two people to come together and love each other and want to get married. And then we're going to put this other obstacle in the way and keep them from doing that. That's BS. Okay. So also in 2009, there was a Hate Crimes Prevention Act. And I feel like this new thing that Trump is trying to implement is really radically going to shift that, encouraging anger and division. Just to say, I'm going to touch upon it again, but I signed a few petitions. I believe that that is a way that we can raise awareness without having to necessarily go rallying out in the streets. Not exactly my style, but if I can do that, then hopefully I can go through the legal route, which is where the real change happens, in legislation. And so I just want to point out also, in 1966 in New York, one of the most progressive places, it was illegal to serve a homosexual person alcohol. Isn't that crazy? And then until 1969, homosexuality was considered criminal. So it is so much based upon, I understand that it was based on Christianity, and I believe people should be able to have their beliefs, but I don't think they should impose their beliefs on restricting others' freedoms, especially if that denies them basic human rights, such as medical care, protection, and various things. Okay, I'm kind of going off topic a little bit right now. So with the new act, it's going to affect employment. It's going to make it harder for them to make money and survive. And so along with people of color who have been kept disenfranchised. It's making them, if they can't have jobs and support themselves, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to go into crime. They're going to be doing things which are going to put them in the lower parts of society and not give them equal opportunities, like just to survive. If they can't have medical access, then what is that going to do? They should just have access to human rights, as well as in schools. We need to protect the children regardless of what sex or gender they identify as. When I was a little girl, I remember I had a classmate and he told me he knew he was gay since like we were in the 4th grade. And then I had a friend, junior high or high school, that was bisexual and would tell me their perspective. These are humans. These are our friends. These have been my clients. These have been my coworkers, people I deeply care about. And so this is a step backwards with what's going on right now. And I feel very passionate about that because I want to protect the people I love and speak out. They might not have the same audience as me. So going into the next segment, before I do that, let me model my dress for you. So it's a white sequiny dress. I'm imagining someone partied in it on New Year's. What do you think happened in this dress? Do you think they did naughty things in this dress? Do you think do I need to like take a crystal bath now? Check out my legs. They look pretty good right now. Ooh, and look at this slit. The slit's hot. I think it looks great with my patent pumps. My hair is getting really long. I'm giving myself, my hair stylist had a surgery, but I love having long hair. Luckily, I'm blessed. And my secret, argan oil, and also I'm like putting hot coconut oil on my hair before I wash it for at least half an hour. That is my secret. So for you, of my viewers that have long hair, less is more. Sometimes the most natural, easy things are worth more than the most expensive chemically things. There's also this little thing I massage into my scalp with shea butter. That's really nice, and cacao butter. It's been so dry lately. I've tried to put lotion on, but I feel like I need to just take a hot oil slather, just rub hot oil all over myself a hot oil treatment. Okay, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to be trying on the next dress, and tell me, is this showing up? I tried to watch myself on a TV and I was so grainy on my TV. I don't know if it's just because my TV sucks. I bought it for like $300, or if it's the resolution. Let me know. Maybe I'll have to invest in a better camera. I'm actually trying to build out another set for my magic school. And I'm back for section 3. We're going to be talking about spirit. And so from spirit, I mean, in this case, soul. So my personal perspective is that we incarnate as non-gender, non-sex. We are completely whole, encompassing everything. We are both male and female. And so I believe that we as humans have both feminine and masculine energy. And when I've past life regressed people, I found out that they have had lives as males and lives as females. And when I went and I saw answers into my previous incarnations, I found out that I have been men and then I have been women. And so this makes a lot of sense. So I don't think that being attracted to same sex, same gender, or anything in between should be wrong. We shouldn't feel guilty about it. Attraction is very complex and very nuanced. I find myself attracted to a certain type, whether they are male or female. I just prefer, personally, certain genitalia, but I'll find myself attracted to a certain look. And it is also energetic. Attraction can be very energetic. imagine, hypothetical, that we had incarnated with someone and say we were a female in that life and they were a male in that life. And in this life, we incarnate and we're a male in this life, and so are they. What if you have that soul tie or that past life bond that can like transcend physical expression, you know? So they in a past life, hypothetically, what if they were the love of your life and you incarnate now and they're their same gender and you can't help but be attracted to them? Just a thought experiment. But as far as spirit goes, so I want to go and talk about in Native American cultures, there were people that were called two spirit, and these were actually considered to be revered. Like they were closer to their perception of source and God because they exhibited both masculine and feminine qualities. And I went down a rabbit hole before on Native American gender expression, and they all seemed, the women were strong and powerful and had long hair, and some of the men were beautiful with long hair. And so it was just different due to cultural norms and expectations and standards. So yes, it's once again very nuanced and complex, and we can embody different energies at different times. Sometimes I'm feeling very feminine, sometimes I'm more in my masculine. And I think this can change too, especially in society, due to where women are, expected to work in a world where they need to inhabit masculine qualities in order to thrive and survive. A lot of us are choosing not to have children, not be in those typical gender roles anymore. And so I think it's just evolution. Like we're just evolving as a species. And I tried the staying at home, being a little housewife kind of thing. And, domestic life is fun, but it's not exactly, it didn't really quench my thirst for creating and achieving. Okay, so check it out. My little silver outfit. I'm gonna model for you on this side. Wear it with my black pumps this time. I like how it's so tiny and short. I love how it's all shiny. I must say I love sequins. I'm a fan. Really enjoy wearing sequins and glitter, very glitzy. So tell me what you thought. I'm proposing some very out there, maybe foreign topics and concepts to you that might seem really out of the norm, especially since I know my viewers reach all over the world and we're all so culturally different. What is it like where you live? Make comment below whatever your experience has been. Okay, I'll be right back. Welcome back. Outfit number 4. And I can't believe I found this. I didn't think I was going to find something so racy and edgy. But yeah, it's kind of like shiny material with my red boots. And if you haven't seen it, I made a little BDSM educational slash acting experience in my previous video. So if you're curious about BDSM, bondage, sadism, dominance, masochism, then check that out. Okay, so my wild stories. Ever since I was a little girl, I was fascinated by queer culture. I used to watch this comedian, and really raunchy, really edgy, Margaret Cho. And she's like a legend. She's like a legend. She was raised in SF, and I grew up in San Diego, but I ended up moving to SF. And then their motto there's like, let your freak flag fly, like be free, experiment, whatever you want to do. It's cool. Go. I've accidentally, it was kind of traumatizing actually, but I was on the way riding my bicycle to a meditation sound healing thing, and I didn't know Folsom Street Fair was going on. And if you don't know, most people I'm sure don't know what Folsom Street Fair was, but it's this huge, like kind of like very bondagey thing in the street. There were like guys getting whipped with dog masks and just everybody getting like drunk and debauchery. I saw so many genitals more than I'd ever seen in my life. That's what was traumatizing, because I didn't know what I've like, maybe if I had mentally prepared, but I was like, I was ready to like, I'm trying to do my spiritual healing. And then I went through that. No judgment. It was just a lot. I was scared. I was like, saw blood. I identify as a dominant and as a sadist, but I don't want to necessarily leave bruises or draw blood. I get turned on a little, making guys cry. That's just weird. I don't know. My wires are crossed. When I was a little girl, I would beat up my crush because I liked them. Why? Like I said, my wires are crossed. But hey, maybe somebody out there likes it. So, what am I going to go into today? Let's see if there's anything. Let's just do a little recap. We talked about the body and how there can actually be more than two genders. Gender is not binary. You can have a variation of chromosomes, physical expressions. Yes, and yes. So we talked about the mind, how gender is a social construct and has a lot to do with cultural expectations and programming. And some people have a lot of pressure from society, making them like, you need to be straight or else they'll get bullied and beaten. There's a lot of stigma and pressure. We talked about how, it's important to protect people's rights and freedoms, because that's what this country was basically founded on. So we need to continually fight to make sure that that is protected. And also that we are both male and female spirits, and just simply in an avatar. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, so we went over the brief things, and I mentioned that we can sign petitions, which I'm going to be linking in my description. We can do things such as share on social media to raise awareness, on Facebook, on social platforms, have conversations with our loved ones. We can think about the people in our life that we love, which are somewhere along the spectrum, and see them as human beings and not solely by whatever gender they choose to identify with. See them for the soul they are, as a human. We all have pain and struggles and suffering. So it's important to realize that we're all connected and we're all one. And also, yeah, I think that it's important to stand up for people that are not able to protect themselves. And so I want to be a voice for the type of people that they might not necessarily be talking to. I think my following is almost, for the most part, exactly who needs to hear this message. And I really appreciate you guys so much for staying so open-minded, because the only way change happens is through educating ourselves and improving continuously, never ending. Any other crazy stories? So yeah, when I was a little girl, I mean, not a little girl, I was in high school, but I realized even my first crush that I remember, he was very sweet and like had a very soft energy. And I was about, I don't know what, in second grade or something. This is when I was beating the little boy up. And then in older life, in my teens, I think I was more like open and exploratory. I didn't have like a fixed type. I was just, curious. But I do remember liking this guy, had him try on my dress for me and like give me a sexy dance. So I don't think that there's anything wrong with all types of any type of thing you want to get into. What is sad is that there's a lot of societal pressure to be a certain way, especially for males. If you're, different, don't fit into what society, parents, religion expects you to express yourself as, and you can receive a lot of hate, you can receive a lot of bullying, you can receive a lot of negativity, and that is unfortunate, because it's already hard enough in this world. We don't need more hate. We should just be allowed to be who we are and be authentic, to be our authentic selves and express ourselves in however way we want. And so I think it's our responsibility to continue to challenge these things when they occur. Otherwise, little by little, they're just taking away our freedom, our ability to speak, our ability to express ourselves. And if we stay asleep, we're just going to have completely given away all of our power and all of authority away. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember, if you have not already, give this video a like. Please subscribe, turn your notification bell on. I might be doing some Harry Potter try-ons. I want to dress up as female, like as the professor from Slytherin. I forgot what his name is right now. It's not like going in my mind. But anyway, I'm going to be building a set in my study area, which is kind of like old English Baroque style. But hopefully I'll be able to find somewhere to shoot in LA because it is just getting too crazy with the dog and the trucks and the construction across the street. I appreciate you guys so much. Sending you love and light. And oh, I'm starting my own magic school. So if you're interested, if you're a Harry Potter fan, I'm modeling it after that. I have been a practitioner for a long time, but it's kind of like somewhere between a character and myself. All right, thank you so much. Oh, and before I wrap this up, let me model this outfit for you. Okay, so I got this. I like it's like strappy. It's like a crisscross. I like how there's this triangle thing. You know, honestly, I never thought this kind of style was my type, but I really like it. I really like it. Let's see if I can show you the back. Okay. The back's kind of cool. All right, tell me which dress you liked the best. Thank you so much for tuning in. Share this with any of your friends. Might need a little perspective on what's going on right now. Like I said, I'm trying to do my best to educate myself more, and I apologize if I misspoke or confused anything. I'm continually trying to do better. Sending you love and light.